Drea.
Drea O.
Drea O.
Drea O.
Drea O. Drea O.
I'm from Chicago, and
I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son, and he sent me some videos, and it is alarming.
Mayor Eric Adams, I encourage you to please, refrain from making public statements regarding this music and get an understanding of it and understand that this is an outlet of expression.
What up, everybody? It's your girl, Drea O, and as you know, I'm everywhere you go. And on my show tonight, I have Larro. Well, I'm excited to talk to you because it's a lot going on right now with the topic of drill music, Chicago drill, New York drill. Who better to talk about it than a pioneer of the drill movement like yourself? For all those that aren't familiar with who you are and the work that you put in, talk to me a little bit about your history with drill.
Of course, my name is Larro, Larry Wilson, CEO of LawlessInc Incorporated. It started an independent label out of Chicago that commercialized the drill sound and put it out to the masses, and traveled all the way to the UK.
Now, signing artists to your label like King Louie and Katie, who were two pioneer artists in the Chicago drill movement, when you guys were doing drill, like when King Louie first came out, it wasn't even called drill, right?
No, it wasn't called drill at all. King Louie used the word drill in the records, and Pac-Man used the word drill. That was a slang term they had in the neighborhood, Dro City, and that's what he merged the word drill. But it was street music, Chicago street music, gritty, rugged street music, unfiltered, uncensored. So, the media categorized it as drill once again, and which is cool because it gave a subgenre of hip hop coming from Chicago. It's no more than just street music. It's no more than just the trenches speaking.
And I think a lot of people aren't familiar with the word drill and how it's a subgenre of hip hop and how it's been around for about 10 years or so. The New York mayor just recently discovered drill. He said that his son just recently showed him what drill music was.
And I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son, and he sent me some videos, and it is alarming. And we are going to pull together the social media companies and sit down with them and state that you have a civic and corporate responsibility. We pulled Trump off Twitter because of what he was spewing. Yet we are allowing music, displaying of guns, violence. We're allowing it to stay on these sites because look at the victims.
So what are your thoughts about what the NYC mayor said? What do you think about that?
I think what the NYC mayor spoke upon was largely based upon impulse from him just getting a whiff of everything and seeing what it is. That is a man, that is a black man. He's paid some dues and did some things and went through some things himself to get in position. So I really feel that he spoke just a little out of context based on impulse. And, he gets that, and I love the fact that it is someone speaking up on it, whether it's good or bad, it still draws attention because it's still a problem. It's not a problem as to it need to be silenced. It's a problem as to understanding what goes on in the inner city and figuring out what needs to be done, to assist and help these individuals to not go through these things that they go.
Do you think that he has a point? Do you think that drill music is encouraging violence?
I think that life encourages violence. Art imitates life. So it goes to say, yes, life encourages violence. Individuals, we're looking at action movies all day long. I look at some action movies and see them shooting up stuff. I know that if I go outside and shoot some stuff up, I'm going to jail. I think I understand that. I think we forgot this is entertainment as well.
I find it interesting that drill has been around for over 10 years with artists like Chief Keef, Dirk. We saw his rise. We saw him evolve over the last 10 years into who he is now. We've lost artists like FBG Duck, King Von. These were all drill artists in, the genre of drill. And the NYC mayor is just finding out about it. Talk to me a little bit about how you feel when you see how New York has taken something that Chicago or even Lawless has created and funded it and seeded and watered and ran with it, basically. Now it's, Brooklyn drill. We have UK taking the sound as well. How do you feel about that? Something that started in Chicago.
I feel that one with things that happened that started from Chicago, as it started spreading, of course they started forgetting where it started, who started, and the reason why it started. That gets so far-fetched from the truth when things get spread out. Wow. A mayor is like a parent of that city. So as the mayor being like a parent of that city, of course, when something comes up negative from that city, the parent feels they have a responsibility. They do have a responsibility to address it, and by him saying he just heard about it means that he don't understand it. He didn't take the time out to try to understand it, to try to see what it was, So of course he's gonna speak on it and say as a parent what he's gonna do, because it's shameful to say what he's gonna do to try to stop it, because it's shameful. You hear some things and it's like, wow, this is really taking place in 2022 still, like this really goes on. Yes, it does, because these issues have not been addressed. It's more issues to be addressed. It's a large list of issues to be addressed beside the music, beside the expression of art imitating life. Let's go back to slavery. The things that had to be addressed with slavery. Did they not sing in those fields? Yes, they sung in those fields. They sung and expressed themselves and released that pain through music. That happened. That started with our people, with our culture. And it's gonna continue on. That's our way of expressing ourselves.
Even though drill has been around for over 10 years, there's a new movement in New York to try to shut it down. Drewski recently said...
Shut up, Drewski.
Yeah, Drewski recently said that he will no longer be playing music that incites gang violence. I'll read to you exactly what he said. This is what he said. I'm not supporting no more diss/gang music. If you're dissing each other in a song, don't send it to me. I don't care if the artist sends it, the label sends it, your big homie sends it. I will not support or play any diss/gang records on the radio. We're losing too many young men and women to the streets. How do you feel about that?
That's how I feel about that. No, you don't play any dissing music. And that's something I started out. I didn't allow any dissing going on. I didn't allow dissing there. I didn't allow dropping gang signs or anything like that. Now, if a person throwing a sign up in their hood, do that all day long. I don't have no problem with that. Drewski shouldn't have no problem with that. Rep where you from. A person can always rep where they from. No, don't diss nobody. Don't be derogatory with things of that nature. So yeah, that needs to be regulated. And that's to me, I call that clean drill music. Look at that that's clean drill music. It's just making sure that there's no dissing of the dead going on. And it's clean drill music. Everything else is a go.
How do you feel about,
that's how I feel about that.
You guys started off not doing that, but as drill evolved, especially Chicago drill, it turned into dissing the dead and being extremely disrespectful. I recently interviewed Tuka's mom, and she called for the whole hip hop to stop dissing Tuka, her dead son. How do you feel about that? Because that was something that started off in Chicago from drill music, and you're saying that it was clean drill when you guys were doing it, but now you see what's going on. You see what's going on.
I feel like she's right in doing that. And starting out, pioneering it, I seen that happening. There's so many records, there's so many artists that I did not put out, that I did not sign because I want to maintain the integrity of the music. And that's what individuals don't see and don't respect, is that it's all this stuff. I'm ground zero. I was hearing all this stuff as it was happening. All these artists that emerged and getting these major deals and doing I was hearing this music before it got to that point. And I was regulating that music before it got to that point, making sure that artists that came my way didn't diss the dead, didn't do things that diss other gangs and drop signs of that nature, So, I feel like that's I started it like that. You got executives and different people that say they can make money. When they say they can make money from it, they're gonna manipulate, they're gonna popularize, they're going to do everything in their power to draw attention to something they see as profitable. And of course it got profitable because it's like anything else. If someone dissing someone, people go look, they want to hear it. It's like anything else, but when you're not giving any attention to it, it slows down. So yes, I regulated almost like in a parent type factor of I'm hearing the younger artists, because the artists that started coming out doing it with the younger artists dissing the dead, and I just didn't participate. I didn't allow them to market or promote any of the music. If they came my way and I had a song or if it was a feature or things like that, I wouldn't participate in that. You know, and I feel like that's just keeping it clean. If it was a good song, then you edit that part out, just as if it was a good song that had profanity in it. It's understanding the culture and understanding what it is. You know, for you to say you want to shut it down because you see the damage it does, then if you see the damage it does and you see that it's widespread, not just shut it down, regulate it like everything else, regulate it.
Larro, as one of the founding fathers of the drill movement, does drill music need to be done away with?
Absolutely not. Why would you do it? Why would anybody try to do away with anything where it's an expression of art, and art imitates life, and it's something that us young Black kings and queens out here, it's an option. It's another option that they have to get out of this, to get out of the same things that they rap about.
If they are experiencing these things, how can you say that they can't rap about it? It's more about like, if they was not in that environment, they would have something else to rap about. So you can't abolish the outcome. If you want to solve the problem, you kind of got to go into the heart of the problem. And it's not the music. The music is the outcome. The music is what's happening every day. The music is their lives. It's what they're seeing. It's what they're doing. It's the outcome of the condition. And I think that that's what they're missing. And I hope when Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, looks into drill, he kind of understands that and he gets why people are making music like this. I'm not standing next to anything that's dissing the dead. I think that that is disgraceful. I think that it's horrible to ever diss somebody that's dead. Why? They're gone. There's no point in even continuing to talk about that. But I do understand the pain on these lyrics. I understand the pain that goes into the music. And I think a lot of people miss that part. People are crying out for help. People are in pain. People are depressed. They've seen their friends die. They've seen people close to them die. They're living in a battlefield. Y'all are forgetting the term Chirac. Like, people are living in war zones. So what do you want them to rap about? Love and happiness? Like, that's not their reality. So that's what it is. It's the outcome of the experience. Would you agree? I
agree. And there's no sweeping it under the rug. There's no let's shut it down so that people can't see it. No, let's address it. Let's deal with it. Let's find out the things that are occurring to make these individuals feel this way. Let's find out what's going on to make make these kids value life less. It goes into a saying, the squeakiest wheel gets the oil. You know, so of course that's gonna take place. If someone sees that they can just cry out loud enough and get some oil, hell yeah.
And that's the way that you said it, that's exactly what it is.
Clout chasing came from and all that. I mean, that all stemmed from that. I watched all this stuff. I watched every step and every layer, everything that went on with Chicago drill, UK drill, Brooklyn drill, whatever someone want to try to classify it. I watched it. I participated. You know, so I watched these things take place. And as watching these things take place, I just seen there was more people speaking about the same issues.
What's one song that Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, needs to listen to understand the drill movement and the birth of drill?
The first song that I put out there was Too Cool. You can see how clean that drill song was put out from a drill artist that everyone knew was a drill. At the time, it wasn't drill, wasn't classified as drill. So it goes to show what we were doing with the music from the streets in Chicago and how we was trying to regulate it and trying to make sure it was done in a clean manner, but still got the message out there. His son understanding, his son sent the music because his son is a consumer of it. His son liked the music. Apparently something sparked to get his son's interest. You know, and that's great. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to get his son interest so his son can tell his father, and his father be in a position to listen to it and say, damn, this is bad. Let me see what I can do to help. not let me banish them, not let me ridicule it, not let me talk bad about these individuals, these young faces that they don't have it figured out. No, everybody don't have it figured out.
Well, thank you so much for just stopping in and sharing your thoughts. Where can everybody follow you and keep up with everything that you're doing?
Follow me at, on Instagram at Larro109, LawlessInc, as well on Instagram, Twitter, all of them the same handles. My personal is Larro109, business is LawlessInc.